Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you are new to my channel, welcome. Today I'm gonna show you how to make Danwake. Danwake is also known as beans dumpling. It is a very popular Hausa dish that is very delicious. So I'm gonna start by dissolving a little piece of potash in water. Potash is also known as kaun, akaun, kanwa. In case you don't have that, you can also use baking soda, which is also known as sodium bicarbonate. So let me show you the other ingredients that I'm gonna be using. Cassava flour, beans flour, potash, salt, moringa powder. You can use kuka powder if you have that. Then water. 2 cups of beans flour, 2 cups of cassava flour. I'm gonna add 2 tablespoons of moringa powder. Kuka is the traditional ingredient, but because I cannot find it, this is a good substitute and it is even very healthy. I'm also gonna add a teaspoon of salt and mix to combine. I have videos on how to make cassava flour and beans flour. I'm gonna leave the links in the description box. You can check them out later if you're interested. You can also make danwake with any flour or combination of flours available to you. I'm gonna set it aside and heat up some water. It is very important because you have to cook this in hot boiling water. Make sure you are using your biggest pot and pour in enough water. Cover it and bring it to a boil. So back to the potash, it has dissolved. I'm just gonna stir it so that it can mix properly. Potash is very sandy, so it is better to dissolve it before use instead of crushing it and adding it to your food. Otherwise, you're gonna be eating sand. So I'm just gonna gently pour it into the flour because you don't want the sand to get in. I'm also gonna be adding more water gradually until I reach the right consistency. I'm gonna tell you the measurement when I'm done. So if this is your first time on my channel or you are a returning viewer and you are not yet subscribed to my channel, please subscribe to my channel by clicking on the subscribe button and on the notification bell so that you can get an alert whenever I post a video. Like and share the video. Thank you and God bless you. So this is the last water I'm gonna be adding. I used 2 cups of plain water and 1 cup of potash water. So in total, I used 3 cups of liquid to get to this consistency. I'm gonna whisk it a little bit to fluff it. Like I said earlier, kuka is the traditional ingredient. Because I don't have it, I'm using moringa. Moringa does not have that stretchy, slimy effect that the kuka has. So in order to bind it together, the way you whisk the akara batter to bind it together, fluff it, that is what I'm trying to do. Because the cassava and the beans flour are gluten free, that means they don't have that stretchy effect. And the moringa powder is not viscous. That is the downside of using moringa instead of kuka, but moringa has more health benefits. So we are good to go and the water is already boiling. So I'm going to show you so many ways to shape your danwake. You can drop it in with a spoon or a scoop. I am going to be making different sizes of the danwake, so I am starting with the biggest size. You can make any size you want. You can make it as big as you want or as small as you want. But keep in mind that the bigger the danwake, the longer it's gonna take to cook. That's why it is very important to start with the biggest size so that by the time it gets to the smallest size, it has had enough time to get cooked. Let me show you another way to do it in case you don't want your hands to be dirty. You can use a bag. So I just snip the bag according to the size you want. If you want a bigger size, make the hole bigger. If you want it to be smaller, cut a smaller size. I'm also gonna show you how to make a smaller size with the same bag. This is practically like making puff puff. If you have made puff puff, this is how you drop the batter into the hot oil. it is practically the same thing. So with the same bag and the same batter, I'm just gonna move it to the other side, then cut a smaller hole. See, now it is smaller. You can cook this in 2 batches because you can see it is full right now, but I don't really have time for that, so I'm just gonna do it once. I'll be moving them around so that the new ones can get into the hot water. Let me use this opportunity to send a very special shout out to all those that have subscribed. You guys are the best. I love you. Thank you and God bless you. So now let me show you the more traditional way of doing it. Make sure you have water that you can dip your hands in because these things can be sticky sometimes. Mine is not really sticky though. So like I said earlier, it is just like the way you drop puff puff batter into the oil. It is just similar. But one thing about Danwake, it has a very irregular shape. It doesn't have to have a perfect shape, it's just shaped irregularly, so you don't have to be so particular about the shape. It is the size that matters. Maintain a certain size and you're good to go. If you want it big, maintain that size. If you want it small, maintain that size. So don't bother if it is round, square, rectangular. Don't just bother about it because it doesn't really matter. So when I'm done, I'm gonna let it cook until it is done. The length of cooking time is dependent on the size of the danwake. If the danwake is bigger, you have to cook it longer. If it is smaller, you cook it in a shorter time. Because of the size combination, I cooked mine for 30 minutes. If yours is smaller, you can cook it within 15 to 20 minutes. So now that the danwake is done, I'm gonna transfer them into a bowl of clean water. You get why? The reason for that is that these danwake, when they are cooked, they become very slippery, slimy, and they tend to stick together when they cool down. So it is better to get rid of it by rinsing them multiple times. So let us check to see if the danwake is done. As you can see, it is done. The inside looks like the outside. When you make danwake, you can eat it with pumpkin soup or with some vegetables like lettuce, cabbage, tomatoes, onion, cucumbers. Some people even add boiled eggs. So it is up to you. Whatever you like, you can add to it. But for me, I'm gonna be enjoying mine with lettuce and pickled onions. You can use fresh onions if you want, but I like the taste of the pickled onions. It is very easy to make pickled onions and you can do it in about 30 minutes. Just slice your onions and soak them in lemon juice. Let them sit for about 30 minutes and it is ready. In addition to the lettuce and the pickled onions, I'm also going to be using chili oil. If you want to know how to make this chili oil, I'm going to leave the link in the description box. You can check it out later. Traditionally, when you want to eat your danwake like this, you have to add salt, dried pepper, Maggi cube, and onion infused oil, peanut oil or groundnut oil. It is the same thing as chili oil. So chili oil is already pre-made, the same thing, the same ingredients. You can either use the chili oil as a dipping oil or you could drizzle the oil all over it. I remember those days in Shekara where they gave us 5 pieces of danwake that we fondly called 5 lovers because they were 5 large pieces, and it was the most enjoyable meal we had then. That and also punkaso. Danwake is very delicious and a very filling meal. It kind of reminds me of okpa. They have the same texture, similar smell, and they keep you full all day. So now that you know how to make danwake, why don't you give it a try? I promise you, you're gonna love it, your family will love it, and you're gonna be so proud of yourself. So thank you guys for watching. Till I see you next time. Stay safe, stay blessed. I love you. Bye.